Hey guys, what's good? It's your boy Jarod, your girl Gabby. Happy holidays, you guys, and happy year-end 2020. This is our special year-end episode. Bam, 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 bam. See, you were thinking I would not do the special year-end air horn noise. It's not even an air horn noise. It's more like it's kind of an air horn. Yeah, it's an air horn. It's an air horn.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure. This is a special new frontier for all of us, Jarod, not just for our listeners, but for you and me. It's very exciting. I'm feeling very reflective right now. Yes. Clearly, I look like I've been staying up all night reflecting also. So
staying up all night reflecting or prepping for New Year's plans, getting yourself rowdy. Who knows? Who knows? But look, this is no. This is our 35th episode. It is, again, also our special year-end episode. And really what we're going to do here with you guys, folks, is take you back on some of the awesome and fun times we've had this 2020, even though it's been a challenging year for everybody, right? Global pandemic, economic crises. I mean, the world's in a not great place right now. So we are very thankful that we have each other and you, the larger KNS community, to be here with us. And so, yeah, we're going to go back and look at some of the fun moments, some behind-the-scenes stuff. And let me tell you about these behind-the-scene things that are happening. Hilarious.
Oh, boy.
There might be drug use talk. Oh, no, wait, maybe not drug use talk.
Jarod, first of all, for those watching, you know what I'm doing. I'm shaking my finger at Jarod because I have no words. That is a very rare occasion.
There might be talk about dating lives, perhaps. I don't even know. All I'm saying is it's going to be fun. And then, of course, all the fun moments we have with our guests, like DJ Cypher Sounds. Perhaps. That was a fun one.
I knew that's where you were going to go, of course. So gassed up over there, Jarod. I mean, you started now or not yet?
Cypher, don't get gassed. Yes.
Here we go. Yeah. Giddy up, guys. It's going to be fun.
No, it's going to be fun. But Gabby, what are you most looking forward to in this funny, fun-filled year in review episode?
There's so much I'm looking forward to. I mean, 2020 was a wild ride, but it gave us.
Was it wild or wild?
It was wild for the people in the back. There you go, wild. But you know what? 2020 gave us an opportunity to create this program that, thank you guys for rocking with us and for sticking it out with us. It's been a really fun learning and experience for us as well. So I don't know. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to. We've had some great guests. Actually, all of our guests have been amazing. # blessed. And we've had some good moments as well.
I got that from you, by the way.
I'll leave it at that. It's just there's too many good ones to really narrow it down, Jarod. Minus the drug use.
Minus the drug use, folks. Well, folks, that's all we can say. Buckle up and stay tuned. This is the Kicks and Shit Show 2020 Year in Review.
Hello, everyone. Jarod Hector here. Who are you?
I'm Gabby. Nice to meet you. Hi, everyone.
Now, we don't even know what the name of this show is or anything. We're just going to kind of run with it. And hey, guys, Jarod and Gabby back for Kicks and Shit, episode 2. I think that name's going to stick. I'm not sure. Someone might come after us with some trademark issues, but we're gonna roll with that for right now.
We're working on it.
We're workshopping it. So should we talk about the fact that you're a little broy? Is that because you're from New Jersey?
I live in Broboken. I drink protein shakes. I do yoga 3 times a week. Yeah, I need a little bit of the Jersey.
Okay. There you go. You pump fists, not gas. Got it. So here's the thing.
No, I pump gas too. Yeah.
Right now, you got your lovely Adidas on right now. I see. Yeah, I see you.
The only time you'll ever see me point like this to my chest. Let me tell you. Sorry, boys.
There's something that happens for me, and it's like my brain shuts down or melts, and I can't do it. It's like, let's say you're going out, right? Wherever, you're going to the store, you're going to like the supermarket, it doesn't matter. You put on your like 3-stripe track pants or whatever, and you put on Nike shoes or you put on Puma shoes. I'm like my brain, like, I'm like even
when you're at the store to try them on?
I just no, I can't. Well, that's why if I'm going to buy sneakers, I wear no brands.
You dress in all like.
Yes, I have nothing.
I gotta try that.
I have no brands on. But it makes me so nervous. I don't know what it is about the idea of everything being like, all right, so you got Nike shoes on, but I have Nike bottoms and Nike
sweating.
tops.
It's like nobody see me.
Like the one thing that drives me nuts is like when you do the Adidas and Nike combo. I'm like, what even is that? Like, what?
It's like
it makes my brain hurt. So sadly, of course, the world has lost many music legends over the past couple days. Little Richard, Betty Wright, and Andre Harrell. I want to speak to Little Richard in particular because, of course, he in many ways is the father, the originator, often imitated, never duplicated, right? Like, who started rock and roll. He was in a 1991 Air Jordan commercial, which was phenomenal. It was for the Jordan 6s. And we're going to take a look at that commercial right now.
Yo, Moss Blackman, here with the lattice lamp. I am the genie on the lamp. I'm granting you just one wish.
Which I wish for. Do you know?
$1 million?
Nah, tax problem.
A new car?
Can't drive. I got it.
A wop babaloo mop bam boom!
Look, Mom, I can fly. I like that, Genie.
I am the greatest!
And Gabby, that commercial just says everything that like you need to know. I mean, the convergence of sport, popular culture, and I mean, it's always been connected. This was 1991. Spike Lee directed this. You know, Michael Jordan, of course, the biggest star in the world at that time. Little Richard, an icon in music and rock and roll. To me, one of the great things about sport and about sneaker culture and fashion is the convergence, right?
People will enjoy.
Some of the best stuff is between the tape. I think that's our segment, between the tape.
Ooh, that's a good way to get some. I like that. Okay, that.
I like how my voice goes like, when I shimmy, because I have so much to shimmy. Are we on? How about now?
Yes, how about now?
New York. Unique New York. I need to just watch Anchorman to brush up on my weird like euphemisms I used before.
Maybe that's your like weird like your obsession with it's gotta be a square, so it's a square photo versus a horizontal photo.
Not a square photo. You better watch your mouth. It's not an obsession. I'm gonna explain. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, Jarod, ready for the outtake?
Yeah. Oh, it's already running.
Oh, I know. Oh, sorry. I think my face makeup has some sunscreen in it that's making my eyes water. Anyway, back on the story. So my thing is that I know we put a little treatment on each photo.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a
yeah.
That's like the border.
Yeah.
That's the verbal version of what that is.
Got it.
The technical term. You hate me so much right now. But the reason I say to go further back is because when I crop, I don't have the sneaker to be out. If it's like a wider lens like that,
right?
Like I almost want to show you an example of what it would look like if I were to do that.
I know what you mean. It wouldn't look good.
You know
the sneaker's going to be cut out.
I'm not that overly critical that I'm like a dick being like, oh, you need to change. I would have rather you did it like this way instead of this way, because this way, at least if the sneakers are in wide, I can put the border above and below for extra space.
Got it.
Wide I can too, but because you have big feet and your sneakers are long, it's a compliment, by the way, because your sneakers are longer, already you're going to have less space this way than you are in this space. This way is going to take up more space automatically, so by going vertical, you take out that kind of need to have it there. And then I go, that's the kind of guy. I was like, what, a very famous celebrity? She was like, yeah. I imagined with that. I was like, maybe a little unrealistic. It's probably not what I should shoot for, but
But listen, you know what I always say? Aim for the stars. Because if you hit the street lamp, at least you got off the ground. All right, so you were loving Jordans, and then you always stay close to the sneaker culture. But how did that transition you from there into Sinners Love Sneakers? What was it about starting something or that got you to be like, you know what? I'm going to try something here.
Okay, so people always would say to me, oh, you always have great sneakers. Where do you get your sneakers from? So I would play around a little bit, and if I'm in the city and I post something and they're like, oh, I want those, I'll get them. It's not a big deal. So I'm like, okay, people think I'm plugged or I am the plug. So I'm like, what? Let's make this real life. And one night I was sitting in the car with my partner, my Kia, and I was like, what are we going to name this thing? And I looked over and there was a truck that was parked next to us and it said SLS. And I was like, what 2 words? Like, so at first I said sinners. And I was like, no, that's a little raunchy. But then I'm like, everybody sins.
Yep.
And everyone loves sneakers. So I was just like, oh, sinners love sneakers. And we went with it. And we let it sink in for a little bit to make sure that we liked it. I like the initials, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And, we ran with it, and it's trending.
I love those serendipitous moments, right? Because it wasn't like you guys were like, all right, let me put up a bunch of whiteboards and throw stuff at the wall. How about this name? Nah, you were sitting in the car. You saw SLS. You said, what? 2 words. You're like, you went right to sinners, and you were like, oh, hold up. Everybody sins, which is true. Whole lot of sinning going out in these streets, right? And then sneakers, you said, well, hell, sinner. And there's something, pun intended, devilish about that, right? Sinners love sneakers. And it taps into that side of you that's like, oh, okay, a little something there.
Oh, well, I like shoulder shaking.
All right, calm yourself, all right? Relax over there.
Like, I think that I'm a pretty unique person, and when we hang out, you'll kind of get a taste of my real life, of what I'm actually doing, versus what idea I've kind of painted in picture, people's head. You're just going to kind of get an authenticity view from it. So my whole thing was like, I know I do some stuff that's like probably cool, but like I personally wouldn't think like, oh yeah, I got to catch this, because I'm not thinking like that in the fly, or we're talking about a conversation that needs to be filmed. But yeah, just sharing what's on my mind, but not giving too much, and then also controlling your personal life. Like, if I was in a relationship, I probably wouldn't post it. Not like to hide nobody, but I'm just, I think now, especially reaching, I never tell myself, but my friends be like, yo, you internet famous, dog. I still find that weird, because I know I do some stuff that's like probably cool, but like I personally wouldn't think like, oh yeah, I got to catch this, because I'm not thinking like that in the fly, or we're talking about a conversation that needs to be filmed. But yeah, just sharing what's on my mind, but not giving too much. And then also controlling your personal life. Like, if I was in a relationship, I probably wouldn't post it. Not like to hide nobody, but I'm just, I think now, especially reaching, I never tell myself, but my friends be like, yo, you internet famous, dog. I still find that weird, because it's a weird balance now, especially with, I'm being kind of seen everywhere now a little bit, and it's growing and growing. My own friends will at me, and I'm just like, you could have just texted me, like, like it's getting to that point where you kind of have to find that, like, that balance of like, of course people know you know me, like, you don't have to do this. So, I struggle with it daily, just because I get annoyed by certain things, but also like, I'm gonna just share what I'm passionate about, like whether I'm joking on it or something. Or I've also learned how to take breaks from social, and not let it overconsume, because I was like doing about 10 hours a day on my phone and not realizing it. Like, it was just taking a huge concept of my life. And I like to go, with the pandemic and staying safe, sometimes I go out and get some fresh air and go for a walk. Just different things, just constantly trying to learn and sharpen my craft, and always being humble in everything, and grateful for every opportunity. Like, I'm grateful to be, on this show. You guys could have had any other guest, but just being able to experience that and know that, for one, every day isn't guaranteed. I can't say like, hey, I'm gonna see you guys in March or whatever, because I might not wake up tomorrow. So I'm very grateful for the attention, and grateful for the love, grateful for having good energy around me, and constantly moving like that with love. Like, I think my greatest thing right now is reminding people to drink water every day.
Yeah, you do every day.
Like, that's a joy. Cheers. And and telling people, like, that they're cared about. You know what I mean? Because some people are like really having rough days, and it's not easy.
Right? I'm loving what her and Chad, of course, if you guys don't know, on Twitter is Sneaker Galactus, and Instagram. This guy is an OG sneakerhead, and we're gonna get into all that with him and the both of them. He is, as Adina texts me, the sneaker god, not God, not little G. GAWD. God.
So the benefit is to have my wife as my PR. That's just
That's what the W is for. It's actually for wife in there. That's how you know it's really happening here.
And I wore those. But I went to the movies carrying like a Dwayne Reed plastic bag with my sneakers in them. And like, so he wouldn't know, but not knowing that he was a sneaker god, and I should have like kept them up.
So I tried to tell her about sneakers, but she kind of dismissed it because it was becoming this like trendy thing, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
He's
not really
he's like, I'm into
them.
sneakers, and I was like, yeah, nigga, that's how everybody is.
Yeah,
and then I went to his house, and I was like,
she really did. She dismissed the hell out of it. I was like, all right, cool then. You know, like I guess she doesn't think. And then when she got there, she was like, oh, nigga, what are you talking about?
See, those of you guys who are a little fancier, right, and like to wear more suits, right? You bet the hem on those suits pulled up a little bit, right? You show off a little bit of the sock, the high top.
Speaking of language, slide in my DM for that one. You wear sneakers and suits? Hey, what's up? Holla at you, girl.
See,
I don't know what the shimmy is, but you know,
fellas,
my shoulder's doing something. It's out of control.
Fellas, I'm giving you guys free game right here. I just told you how to get into her DMs. But yeah, get yourself the right accessories, guys. That's how you protect. Because look, I know that a lot of us, it's not so much about dead stock, it's about rocking them. But at the same time, you want to protect these investments, right? Get the right stuff, clean them off, let them breathe, you know, put shoe trees in your shoe, whatever you got to do to keep them fresh.
Nice,
oh boy, you and these boys, we'll have a conversation about that, I'm sure, at some point.
I know. Lauren was like, why do you get so attached to people? And I was like, I never used to be like this. I think it's because I'm old and maybe it's menopause or some shit.
So what I want to do quickly for the young folks out there, because, you know, Kenny, we got a lot of young fans and young people. And what happens, as you know, as time goes on, all you know is what's current. And you don't know, a lot of people don't know what came before them. So I just want to give people a little snippet to understand when I say legend, what I'm talking about right now. Because people, legend, no. Let me give you some game on this, and you people understand what I'm saying. So obviously, Kenny from Queens, born in Left Rack City, which is good.
No doubt.
By the way, Left Rack City, home of Nori, shouts to Nori, Prodigy, Koji Rap, Kenny Smith, a lot of people from that area.
Yeah,
guys. Kenny was a 4-time Parade High School All-American at the legendary Archbishop Malloy High School. 4-time All-City, Mr. Basketball in the state of New York, McDonald's All-American, Gatorade National Player of the Year. Just that alone, do you guys know how many people have been 4-time Parade All-Americans? Oh, I know, 2. Kenny Anderson, and a player you may not, you young kids, a player by the name of Lou Alcindor. You'll be like, I don't know who Lou Alcindor is. Yeah, you do. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you are ever on a list with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you are it's only you two, legendary status, people. Yeah. Respect this man and that game. Legit. Obviously went to Georgia Tech, took him to the Final Four in 90, All-American, 2-time ACC Rookie of the Year. Went to the NBA number 2 draft pick in 91 by the Nets, 94 All-Star game. I mean, this guy is the truth. So I had to let people know, Kenny, because, you know, these young kids, sometimes they don't know their history. I gotta put them up on game. When you're a kid, you look to adults to be the people who guide you. And when you don't have that, that causes a lot of problems in your life. And when you find it, all you want to do is stay there. And that's why I could tell Archbishop Malloy means so much to you.
Well, I'll give you my day for 4 years. 7:30 in the morning, I would go to school. And I would stay there at 9 at night. I would stay at my school because we had practice at 4 o'clock. So I would do my homework and stay in the school and do my homework and everything, and then go to practice and then go home. And I did that for 4 years. So it was just you learn a lot. You learn a lot doing what I was doing. You know, just the teachers was involved. Study periods, tutoring sessions that I stayed after. I said we could do it. I got out at 2:18, so school, and we practiced at 4 o'clock. So I had time to study and do everything I needed to do for school. And then I went home to Left Rack City, which is total, mainly black. Mm-hmm. In my neighborhood, my mother, just a single parent home. It just was, it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Vincent Smith lived in the next building, with his family. Kenny Smith had that structure because he had his father and his mother living with him. Mm-hmm. He had the structure. I really didn't have structure until I met, Vincent Smith. And I had structure in my life, and they would stay on me about doing well in school. Mm-hmm. It made me realize how important school was, because they said, Vincent said, you don't have any money, so therefore scholarships was very important to me to get, and you had to, you had to have good grades and basketball skills. And that's all I concentrated on when I was in high school, because I had a great mentor, Vincent Smith, who told me this, over and over. When we worked out, he would tell me. So it was just embedded in my head. And I just, I kept working. And everything for me started getting better. So 4 years, first year, All-American, All City, every year.
That
as
is...
a youngster, 15 years old, I was an All-American, All City player. 15 years old. Yep. So I grew. I had to grow. And in school, Archbishop Malloy made me grow as an individual. And the person I am today, I give everything to Malloy, Archbishop Malloy. Being brought up in that situation, in that white, black, Chinese, just grew up in that situation and had to understand that made me who I was, I am today. Archbishop Malloy High School.
No doubt.
If he heard a song 3 times in one day somewhere in the streets, automatically had to play it that night. So he's in the gas station, somebody pulls up playing a song from a mixtape, and then he drives down the West Side Highway and hears that song and hears it one more time. Like, that he had a rule, like he had to play it that night. That meant something was happening. And I respect that. Like, he never made it about himself.
Yeah.
And people think he was all about himself. He is really about the music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And entertaining the crowd. Now, he loved the reaction that he got from it, but you're the one who won. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
We won.
No doubt. And Gabby, you might have been a little young when Flex was doing this, but especially if the song was real fire, you always knew, because he would stop it and like 10 seconds in, like, and we gotta start that again. Like, and the bomb would drop at the beginning. I'm like, Flex, we heard this intro 7 times.
Yeah.
I mean, my Jewish parents used to love that when I played the radio. Let me tell you. I probably
one of the most famous ones was Nas' "Hate Me Now."
Yes, I remember that.
He played that for 2 hours straight. I remember. And like, everybody thought he was getting money for it, but he was like, Nas, Puffy, like, Foxy Brown's brother did the beat. I forgot his name. And Nas was at that level at the moment, and it made, like, some girl, like a random girl listening to the radio might get annoyed, like, he's playing the same song over and over. But do you know how that made Nas and his people feel?
Oh, man.
Like, they, like, whatever Flex needed, they were gonna do, because he blew it up so much. You know what I'm saying? I had the same reaction with, I learned that from Flex, and I did the same thing with Rick Ross, Hustling.
Yes.
So I just got into Off-Whites. When I went to StockX, I picked up the 97s. But here's the thing. here's the thing. Like, I don't know, rare sneakers nowadays. Like, you guys do a show about sneakers, so you see all this stuff. I like these as a normal. This is like a. No, I'm not trying to flex, but this is like a normal everyday shoe to me.
I mean, it is, but it's of a certain type of person, though, right? Like, walking down the street, I don't see a bunch of people just wear those. But, like, yes, if you're a certain ilk, yeah, that's a regular shoe.
Well,
and the
my
97
problem
is
is
fire.
I wear sneakers and then I wear them a little too much.
I then went to school because I wanted to own my own shoe store. First boss said, "You're not going to own your own shoe store. You're going to work at Nike." Fast forward, I work at Nike. And my job there was rooted in history and heritage, storytelling, and product tech for, I'm sure everyone's familiar with what an Econ is. Mm-hmm. I would get those work with the designers, tinker, and the color material people at Jordan Brand and figure out what's the backstory and create these toolkits to give to those people and sales associates to speak on things, as well as some high heat events like All-Star. So I've been on the two sides of the ball with All-Star there, of being on the brand side and then being on the partner side and doing partnerships.
Gabby, did you notice how she so casually dropped in the God Tinker's name? She was just like, oh yeah, and you work with like Tinker and all them, and it's like, oh, excuse me.
I'm a man Tink, casual.
Yeah. I'm going to take that knife and turn it a little bit just to get interesting on this, get our views up a little bit. I spent one night in Atlanta at a Drake concert with Tinker Hatfield dancing to Hotline Bling, drunk as hell on whiskey.
Okay, let's just...
Go.
We could probably just spend the rest of the show talking about Drake concert, Hotline Bling, Tinker Hatfield, drunk AF. Like, right? Like, that's like, those are the things that happen.
I'll pour myself a glass of something right about now. We can just talk for hours about this.
I will send you the video of him dancing to Hotline Bling.
Yes.
Posted on my Instagram, actually. Legendary night. The stories that man has. He is just a phenomenal human, and I could listen to him for
back in the day, you had to be so current. So you got a pair from a year or two ago, you might have been looked at a little funny.
Looked at? You might have gotten clowned at the lunch table. You definitely getting made fun of for those
Now
shoes.
it's like, oh, you're rocking a pair from 8 years ago. They're probably just remade anyway. But back then you had to be, you had to have a pair that was fresh. But like I always had, like my grandparents would give me like a limit on sneakers. They'd get $80 or $90. So like you had to be creative. We either go to the Binghamton Mall or East Bay. And a lot of times East Bay, I would get the pair like last year's pennies or something like that. So they'd still be fire, but oh my God, they'd be from last year. Like, are they still good?
The pennies, the pennies were dope, man. But you remember that when the East Bay catalog used to come home, you get so excited.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, the East Bay catalog was like, I can't wait. With even the uniform pages, I was like, I need those like Umbro shorts in every color. Like, what?
The most interesting pair of sneakers I ever got from East Bay. I'm not by far not the best. The most interesting pair of kicks, and I probably got them for my grandparents got them for me. Probably only $60 or $70. And I texted Gabby a picture of the ad. The John Wallace Carl Kanai sneakers.
Yes, Carl Kanai's.
A few basketball players. I know John Wallace did. Maybe somebody else.
I think another Nick. I think another Nick had Carl Kanai's.
Maybe Walter McCarty.
Maybe.
But I had them in 8th grade. The John Wallace Carl Kanai.
I was on tour with Dave Chappelle and Mo Amer and a bunch of other guys in Europe right before COVID hit. And there's a StockX hub or whatever they call it in London or outside of London. So Mo knows the guy Josh that owns StockX. And he's like, yeah, go by the facility. They'll give you a tour. So we go over there and they give us a tour. They show us how they authenticate sneakers, which is crazy. They got the ultraviolet lights. A lot of it has to do with smell, which is crazy. Like they can smell the glue. Like Nike has a specific kind of glue. But anyway, so we're like, hey, what's that pile over there? And they're like, oh, those are like returns, or like sometimes UPS or something will mess up the box. So the customer doesn't want it because the box they want it to be perfect. So they just have them around. And we're like, can we buy those? They're like, yeah, we can. And they brought out a bunch of sneakers in all our different sizes, and we went hamburger, yo. And then they showed us some fake sneakers that looked like perfect, but they had a different smell. But I was like, can I have those? And like, nah, we don't sell the fake ones. I was like, can you throw them out and then I'll go get them later? I'm gonna tell you what idiots we are. We were at StockX in the UK, and me, Dave, Mo Ammer, a couple other comedians and friends of ours, we all got a good amount of sneakers. We load up the car we were in, we go back to the hotel, we're all like, oh man, how are we gonna get these home? Like, what are we gonna do? We gotta buy more, because you want to keep the boxes. You want to.
Of course, box got to be intact too. You can't damage that box.
So we have a party that night, and the guys from StockX come to the party, and we're like, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I mean, not a party, the show. And we're like, man, we're like trying to figure out, how we're gonna get these home. And the guy was like, why didn't you just ship them from StockX?
That's amazing.
Literally, the truck was there.
They're like,
he was
this is what we
explaining.
do. Yeah.
He was explaining how they ship sneakers out every day. And we're like, man, how are we gonna get these home? So they came back and got them for us and shipped them.
Listen, shouts to StockX. Didn't think I'd ever say that.
Shout out to StockX, man. But yo, we were like, we are fucking idiots, yo. We're idiot. The truck was there.
I was a Payless kid, so I looked at the kids like, man, what are those on your feet? Like, I didn't have them. I did a video about the Flint 13s and why they were so special because the first pair I ever put on my feet were two sizes too big, and a kid had thrown them away in the garbage, and I fished them out of the garbage just to wear them, just to see what Jordans felt like to wear. Like, that's how much I love them, but we can afford them. So
last weekend it was very chilly outside. So I rock jeans, a white tee, and a pink sweater over the top with my retro Hair 7s. Let me tell you. I got
out of here.
got a couple of head turns. They were like, yo, look at those kicks. I was like, yeah, they fresh, right? Faux rabbit leather. Get you a pair.
Oh, rabbit leather.
For WrestleMania, I get a player exclusive made for me. And at first, everybody's like, you're an idiot. You're wasting your money. Well, I was like, yo, if you can see the contract, you know that was a goddamn investment. And it worked. And I got my own J. I just put them in this box, but I have another box here. But here, we're going to...
Oh, look at that. Look at the jump, man. We know it's good.
All right. Let me get this out of here.
It feels like
These are made by Jordan.
Those are amazing.
Oh, man.
These are made personally for me at WrestleMania. Player exclusives. Here's what you need to know. I am anti-material things, anti-sneakers. I will never buy another pair of shoes for the rest of my life. I haven't purchased sneakers since I got a sneaker deal.
Well, that makes sense. Why would you?
It was the goal of my life.
22. We definitely need to get the actual sound effect and stop doing it like the bootleg way. But there is something I was gonna say, there's something actually very fun about just yelling.
Is this our thing now? Is this what we do?
Apparently, I feel like once you start the, you have to continue it. I feel like I look forward to that like every week. It's just a fun sort of way to, kick off, what's going on. It is another episode of the Kicks and Shit Show. It's your boy Jarod, your girl Gabby. First of all, what is that? What are you doing over there?
I was getting ready for your into it, and here I am raising the roof to fucking silence. I'm feeling super fly today, Judge.
I was gonna say for episode 30. This is a monumental episode for us.
It's our music episode, That's what I'm calling it.
You are. This is your homage to Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. Is this what you got going on right now?
super duper fly. Look at it. I even got the ring light in the shades, you know, my window.
I can't stand the rain. Yes, that's yeah.
Oh, I really can't. It makes my hair frizzy. I can take this off because it's warm in here, but.
I'm like,
that was a long one this time. Okay.
And that's where I really learned about an actual sneaker. That's where I learned about the tech, why different materials make you perform in a different way. And it was super informative. You know, they brought us out to Portland. They had us stay in the nines. It was so fly. And then they had us in Beaverton. They brought us to campus. They gave us a tour.
Shouts to Nike and Jordan Brand.
Shouts to them, man. I miss those Memphis packages. Like, if you get a package and it says Memphis.
Oh, trust me, I know what that means.
That's why I tell people, especially the youth, don't fall in love with social media culture. And, you know, Instagram is just a highlight reel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so much, like, how many times did you have to take this photo before you got the right one?
Oh, I know. From dealing with Gabby, I know.
Hold on, do the Gabby piece. Yeah.
I've been doing this before it was cool on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, but, you know, it takes work. It's not overnight.
I was surprised you didn't throw in a "don't get gas." I was kind of expecting it.
The Cypher Don't Get Gassed is such a special thing. I don't know that you, I mean, yes, I used it a lot when he was on the show because it's a soundtrack about him. But, you know, we'll have to figure out what to drop that in, like, more creatively and carefully, like, as we go. But, you know, maybe I'll do that for you when you're, like, wilding out with one of your puns. I'll just be like, "Don't get gassed."
I hate mine. That's the first thing. And the whole, like, app thing is very hard because rejection is so much. They're like, "Oh, you didn't get the shoe." Damn it.
Yep.
I don't have patience for that either. So I do have a sneaker plug. My other half, if I can't get something, I'm like, "I want this shoe." And if, you know, I position my eyes just right, he'll make it happen.
Little secret, not so secret. But yes, I was borrowing Jarod's Bel Air Athletics hoodie, which I love, and I take really good care of it. So for those who don't know Jarod, why don't you tell us how you feel about sharing things? I'm surprised you didn't say, "Hey, hoodie, how is it in those streets today?" I was waiting for that.
I may or may not be a good sharer of my things. You know, probably goes back to childhood. You talk to my therapist about it. You know, I probably have some real attachment issues. So, you know, but yeah, I did lend Gabby my lovely Bel Air hoodie that she's taking very good care of. I do ask her about it every day to check in. How is it doing? Where is it? What's the temperature like? All this stuff. She was so nice. She offered to wash it. I was like, "Well, how are you going to wash it? Where are you putting it? What's going in there?" Very, very specific questions because, you know, I don't want my stuff getting ruined.
I was one of those fans that he followed. So this man at this point is following maybe 80 or 90 people, right? So anything I say is on the timeline. He sees it. I remember I DM'd him, not even expecting an answer back, but I said something like, "Thank you so much for doing this for your fans." And he said, I still have the screenshot. He said, "It's all love, love spelled L-U-V and a heart." And I was like, "Somebody just sent me a heart?" Like, what? Friends now, call everybody. I was like, "No, this is my friend Colby." He was just so unexpectedly, he was so nice and engaging. Because everyone knew Kobe Bryant as this killer on the court who doesn't talk to anyone, doesn't like the media, doesn't like interaction. And then it's just like the floodgates opened with this man when he got hurt with the Achilles. And it was like, we talked about Game of Thrones, him and I. We talked about Da Vinci's Demons. He got me to watch that. Like, we just had regular ass conversation. And like, I couldn't go to sleep some nights because I would just like read over him like, "Did Kobe say?" Like, what? Listen, people ask me, "Do you want to be in the virtual fans and all that?" No. And I'll say, "What?
You don't want to join me?"
I love you.
I next to each other.
Seeing your face up there and represent me. You can wear a shirt with my face on and be like, "Thanks, right."
I would love to wear a shirt with your face on. If I knew this before today, I would absolutely wear a shirt with
Can you just take like a really like shitty paper and just put count on Vic and just put it up there.
I'll just wear it. I mean, my chest is great for advertising. So I'll put it right here.
Like
Yep. So what about you, Jarod? What's going on in these
Wow,
streets?
folks, did you see that? She actually asked me what's going on in these streets. She actually.
I ask every episode, but we can pretend that it feels like the first time every time, Jarod. I know.
Every time. I will say, ladies, I am enjoying the lip kits that we have rocking today. Some purple and some red.
noticing.
Well, listen, Gabby, never let it not be said that I am not a man of the people and someone who likes to champion women and what they're doing. I love it. It's my jam.
That is true. You are very good at that. I knew you were going to say man of the people. You're also a man of the ladies.
A man of the
a man of the ladies. You're one of the most observant men that I know. So
I
thank you
appreciate
for
that.
you being you. Jarod affectation post.
Is that on your Bumble profile?
It should be.
I am a man of the ladies.
First of all, ain't nobody on Bumble, but yes.
Speak for yourself, sir. And I did this interview with an artist he was a legendary hip hop artist, and he attempted suicide. And he attempted suicide prior, like, let's say we scheduled the interview on a Friday to be done on Sunday. He attempted suicide on Saturday, right? And we did the interview from his hospital bed, right? And then he read the interview, and I packed as much as I possibly could in that introduction about what a legend he was. And he called me like a week later when he got out of the hospital, and he said, you know, somebody found me after I attempted suicide, but I read your article on me, and I felt like I was washed. I felt like I had no hope. I wasn't going to like get back out there. But when I read the words you said about me, I realized that there's more to like live for. And I'm not saying that like I saved this man's life, but I realized that words have power in that moment, right? So I was covering an Amy Winehouse concert, right? And it was right around the time Back to Black had like just released, and it was at the Highline Ballroom. And I was like a fan of Amy, you know, she was awesome, and like I loved like what she was doing and everything. And I was a fan, you know. I loved Amy Winehouse and Lily Allen. Like I was really just, you know, and especially Lily Allen, prom dresses and Jordans, like oh my God, right? But Amy, so I'm at the Highline Ballroom, and I'm covering this show, and the VIP section of the now closed Highline is just very small, and it's just got a couple of little booths, right? And then there's just like a fence, I guess, that kind of like separates everything, right? So I was there, and I'm standing like this, and I have my little reporter notebook, and I'm just like whatever. And this dude is like sitting at a table, and he's like, yeah, go sit, love, come, you know, got to stand, love, come sit over here. And I was like, okay. Right? So, I was with a friend of mine, and we were just kind of sit there, and we're like now sitting practically with this guy and a bunch of people, and he's smoking, and you know, he doesn't care. He's like, he owns the place as far as he's concerned. And Amy's singing, and all of a sudden she like turns, and she looks right at me, and she looks to the guy, and then she looks at me, and then she just like starts giving me this like dirty look. And in the darkest parts of her song, she's like singing at me, and like angry, like at me, and I'm just like, what am I doing? I didn't realize I was sitting next to Blake Fielder Civil. That was her man, and we didn't find out that she was with him until like weeks later. And then I realized, I was like, oh, like I'm sitting, she's looking at me like, okay,
yeah,
like
who's this girl? You are quite having a bit of a pumpkin luck.
If I was the Six Spice Girl, I would be Pumpkin Spice. You don't give up the secrets. Don't tell her. Don't tell them.
She angered the basketball gods at the Fog. That's what happened.
We might have to be right back, guys. What do you think, Jarod?
I think so. Guys, we'll be right back.
So it's really hard for me. I've pulled a couple, but it's really hard for me to pick a favorite. One, you know, I have a hard time picking favorites. When you ask me even about picking my favorite KU players, like I'm like, no, they're all my favorite. I love you all. So that's really difficult. But I figured, since I'm doing like a shout out to FIT and where this all started, one of my favorites is my Jordan 3 Anna Wintour. really love. It's like the classic tweed, and she has her signature on the back, and it's of course Jordan. So Anna was huge for me growing up, sitting in my bedroom in Kansas, paging through Vogue and dreaming of being in the big city at FIT. So this is definitely a special shoe to me, although it may not be like the most famous, like a crazy sought after shoe. It has meaning. So that is definitely one of that I wanted to share with you guys, because
one of my grandmothers passed away. So now for me turning, my emotional connection was sneakers. It was basketball and sneakers were things to keep my thought process off of whatever adversity I was going through at the time. Honored and still thankful to be part of the Jumpman family. And for me, that was like one of the biggest things in the world to me, that, everything I've been through, the one thing I always embraced were like Jordans. Even when I was a kid, I remember getting up with my mom early Saturday mornings, going to Green Acres Mall at 5:30, 5:45, and them opening the doors at 6. And us sprinting, running to the Foot Locker or Kids Foot Locker, Foot Action to try to get a ticket. And, on the phone, did you get a ticket? Get a size 11. They don't got 10. So I think that's kind of where my passion for Jordans especially started. And Air Max is my mom, my brothers, like my family. It was just like a tradition for us, waking up early Saturday morning, getting to the mall. And when they say go, everybody running around like it's Christmas, trying to get the hottest pair of new Jordan. I just love the threes. So
yes, sir. That is the threes are my favorite silhouette for sure, and they are a favorite silhouette of this show. So I appreciate that.
I have a question for you, Jarod.
What?
How are you doing today in the street?
She jumped the gun here, folks. She asked me first, how's it going? See, she didn't even say it right. It's how's it going in those streets, but it's fine.
It's the remix.
Yeah, it's Hot 97 DJ Juanito. What's good, my guy?
Yo, what's happening? What's going on, everybody? Or two people and others. And
us two and all the people out there in the streets that listen to our show.
At one point, when I started going to Rose's shop, or Goliath, Cypher would go there religiously. This is when he was doing MTV, and he had the same size shoes like I have. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get my size. And then I started rolling him after, not knowing we would go to the same shop. I'm like, damn. So on a low, I would go and grab the size 12 and say, no, they don't got it. Yeah, I never opened the package. I thought I did.
Look at that. Look at that.
And it still has a sticker on it.
Love it.
And the reason why this, I'll open it now because I could.
Look at that. We're getting an unveiling here, folks.
Yeah.
Exclusive KNS footage right here.
Yeah, all right. This could go work out both ways or not.
I'm shook right now.
All right, so
here we go.
I can take it out without even opening it.
Oh, look at that, man.
So the reason why it was an interesting collab and shoe only represents my childhood of the purple tape with Raekwon, only built for few things, and then the sneaker I fell in love with when they did the collaboration, and then I was DJing. So all these worlds kind of came together: hip hop, me DJing, sneakers, and what we were talking about earlier in the show, everything kind of meshed together. So yeah, it's probably one of the ones that I would never wear, but I would just hold and dear and just appreciate. And it's off the sticker inside. Hold on,
look at that. We love it. Dead stock, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So
See, that's a pair that I would keep dead stock to instead of turning into livestock.
Yep. If it don't slap, as the kids say. Do kids still say slap, by the way? She said, nope.
I'm trying to think the last time you heard that. You know what? I think they do say slap. Yes. I mean, it depends on where you at though. Like they say it more down south. Like this is slapping. Yeah. They say it down south.
Slapping. Okay.
The slap. They do still say that. Yeah. They just slap.
Well, see, you can tell how old we are by me saying things like slap. Real old.
Gotta put in like a radio edit. Like,
I'm more like of the glam, like glacier. Yeah. Like, and I'm more like if it's like hood, like it's just gonna be in my big stuff. Yeah.
I mean that works though, right? I mean that yin and yang and that I mean that's a tale as old as time, right? And that works. So many groups and duos do that successfully. Gabby and I always say about each other, we're like a comedy duo, right? Like I'm the straight man, she's the funny man, right? Or sometimes we flip that around. Sometimes she's the straight man, I'm the funny man.
Oh, somebody go get your mans. That's what I was. Go get your mans.
But
I was feeling like it was the end of days, and that was that. So on my last couple of weeks, I just was going to the games just to take pictures of the players' shoes because I always admired the kicks. And it was the beginning of that whole Instagram thing. So I said, let me bring something different and show you what Darren Williams and all these guys on, Brooklyn and the opposing teams are wearing. And I tell you, it was the happiest mistake I ever made. Because from that point on, Darren Williams and Billy King and the Brooklyn Nets immediately gravitated to what I was doing, and they kept pushing me to do it. And I didn't even realize all I was doing was taking pictures of the players' shoes. I wasn't even doing action shots. Everybody wanted to know what they were wearing. So I was just giving you the close-up, doing the 360 angles, showing you the messages. There was a story behind the shoe. I was doing the interviews, and it just blew up. Companies like Soul Collector and Slam immediately just came to me, and they were talking to me about sneakers. And I don't talk sneaker. I don't do the sneaker vernacular thing. That's not my thing. And I always had to explain to them, like, look, I understand that you guys like shoes, and I'm in a position where I can show you something that no one else is doing. And it worked. And we were in Brooklyn and we were at the Garden. And that was when, every media member throughout the world was in those buildings, And that was when the moment I knew I belonged. Because I was right in front of LeBron James while he was, taking a picture, tying his shoes. Because that's all I used to do was watch these guys. And all of a sudden, all the media and NBA guys started to flock around me to take his picture. And LeBron told the security guys to get rid of all the media and to just keep me there because he knew what I did. And that became a story on Yes.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I was known as LeBron's personal sneaker guy, which wasn't true.
Right.
But I ran.
Not a gig to be known as, though. Not a
social media superstar. Oh.
30 under
Whoa. See, this is why I'm the host, right? And you're the co-host. Pause.
Cheerleading. So I love having something to aspire to. But before I even thought of Forbes, I wanted to be successful in sharing my passion for women's sports with everybody. So that was like my goal. And to see the numbers go up in investment of women's sports, and to see like you can actually quantify the impact of women, talking about sports or women excelling in the sports space, and juxtapose that with like the investment from bigger companies. So just to see these numbers go up higher and higher, I'm like, yeah, we're winning. So that kind of fueled me to stay working tirelessly, because Gabby knows, like when I was at the Knicks with her, just being in the dressing room, triple screening NCAA women's basketball games, and having to drive up to Bristol for ESPN Media Day, and I was like the only independent journalist there, and just really grinding it out there, and like thank God for Howard McDowell's guidance and LaChina Robinson's guidance, but just really putting in the work to make that happen. I never even thought to apply for Forbes, before this year. It never was a thing for me. I just wanted women's sports to be more prominent, to me, like have more investments, and to tell the stories of players that have been so underserved. And that's what my motivating factor was. So all that, when I was in Forbes, I didn't even know I was attracting the law. We didn't know the law was, we didn't know that was happening. But we just knew that we wanted to spread our passion. I wanted to spread my passion, so it just worked in my favor in that way, and that's why I'm telling you, God works through me. These actually mean a lot to me. These breads mean a lot to me because I have a situation in college where I really wanted these. I didn't know anything about sneakers like that, but I really wanted it, and I was with somebody who just basically like promised them to me, and it didn't come true.
Ooh, they were lying? They tricked you? That's how they tricked you?
And it was kind of like a bad ending to it. And then the person told me, like, hey, stop trying to be a part of a world that you're no longer a part of, basically. And wow. Fast forward 5 years, and I get these sent to me. And so it was like, look at God working. You know what I mean? Like, I got not only one pair, but two. So
one to rock, one to stock. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and I just think that's like a full circle moment, and it was honestly the first pair of Jordans that really launched me into working with the company. And so I love Jordan Brand. I love how they let me be me. And
I mean, like everybody else, she's a woman of many talents. DJ Rhea. I love it. I love it. See, she's her own hype. She's her own hype woman. She don't need nobody. She got it set.
That's what I'm telling you. Don't need anybody. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get out of bed, hype yourself up each and every day. Put that battery in your back, because guess what? Nobody's gonna love you like you love yourself.
See?
Okay.
I'm good. See, Gabby, you knew. You said you're gonna love her. I'm like, oh, I'm already there. That's my mindset, right? If you don't love yourself, damn, who else is going to? So, what are some things you do for yourself to self-care to make sure you're able to keep that battery charged?
So it's funny. Everybody, because of my personality and just like I feed off of other people too. So just like if I see you and like Gabby, like I love her soul. So like she makes me happy. So I'm like, and then I exude that back and she gives it back and it's like bing, 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 bing.
We're just like this. See? Just like this, Jarod.
So like that is super like people would think I'm such an extrovert, and I am, yes, publicly. But I'm such an introvert. Like I like technically hate people in a weird way. Like I love to be home. I love to be in my zone. I love to chill. Like my well-being and wellness is to unplug, because like we live in the matrix. Like let's just give it up. We live in the matrix. Okay, we plug in. I'm always plugged in. I always feel like like this whenever I'm on my phone. Like it gives me a little bit of anxiety actually, because I manage myself on top of it. So it's like Maria is DJ Rhea's manager. So it's like I have Maria over here, and then I'm like
So I have a question for you, Jarod.
Ask away.
Jarod, how are you doing in these streets?
Oh, see that? I was wondering if she was going to actually slip that in there.
Like I understood how the image of something worked, but then how process helps make things consistent, and how every aspect of your communication, when it's not linked up, it's so easy to equate everything back to dating and whatnot. But it's like if the first time you meet me, I roll in Ferrari, clothes are dope. I got on Red Octobers, like I just put together.
Gabby's in.
Balenciaga sweatpants, baby?
Yeah. You know it. Was it like just and then the next time you see me, it's literally just like me in a Toyota Camry going, so you're gonna sleep with me? Like nope, like people are just like, where's the consistency? And that's like what brands do, is like they'll put out this $5 million commercial and then they'll follow it up with some sort of cheesy conversion ad. What's up? This is your boy Ben Aronson. I'm here on the Kicks and Shit Show with Jarod and Gabby, and basically telling everybody, get rid of your shoes. Get rid of them. Give them away. You don't need shoes. Give them away.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. Gabby, that was some funny ass shit. I will say this: I'm hilarious. Like I'm definitely hilarious. That's what I'll say.
You're also so modest. And Jarod, I think this is a first for us. You never curse on the show. Usually I am the one with the mouth like a sailor. Episode 35, our Jordan year, you guys. It's a whole new frontier. Look at Jarod, It's all that drug use, baby. This is how rumors get started. That's all I got to say.
Yes.
On the record, there is no drug use.
No drug use, kids. We do not believe in that and do not promote
and
that.
Off the show. It's
on
not
or off, please. God, no. No, but this has been a wild and fun ride. And don't worry, folks. We'll be back in 2021. KNS is going nowhere. We are here to stay. We're going to be, hopefully.
Wow.
Hopefully we'll be unboxing more exclusives with you, getting some more cool guests. That's the plan. Bringing you more of this lovely content that you enjoy. Please, 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 as always, we're on social media. We're on all the things. Drop us a line, comments. Let us know what you want to see. Hit us up in them DMs. I would say let us know what size you are, but we're not quite at that level yet where we can start giving away product. But soon. Stay tuned.
I am a size 7, in case everyone is wondering.
If you want to give us things,
yes.
One
last time for good measure, before the year wraps, the thirst trap is real.
The thirst trap is real. This is what happens on this show, folks. Yes, always hustling for free merch. My favorite price, free 99. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good free? No, but seriously, folks.
No shame in your game, Jarod.
No shame in my game. Seriously, folks, thank you so much. We wish you and yours a very safe, happy, and healthy new year, rest of your holiday season. We will see you in 2021. Thank you again so much for rocking with us and just really being fans of what we're doing, what we're trying to bring to you. As always, you know where to find us. We release on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all over the place. We are at Kicks and Shit Show on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I know I've been saying TikTok forever. We will do something on TikTok in 2021. I don't know what, but something on TikTok in 2021. So
this is news to me, y'all. Get excited. Going down in 2021.
Stay tuned for that. But seriously, Happy New Year, guys. See you in 2021.
Happy New Year.